Listen closely, can you hear it? The memory of water lingers here, a phantom echo in the parched earth. It whispers tales of life, of abundance, of civilizations born from its embrace. This land was once a cradle, a nurturing haven where humanity first took root. Civilizations rose from the mud of the Tigris and Euphrates, their foundations built on the promise of endless water. Great cities flourished, empires expanded, all thanks to the life-giving rivers. Mesopotamia, the land between the rivers, a fertile crescent where innovation bloomed. Here humanity learned to write, to record their stories, their laws, their very existence, to build magnificent structures that reached for the heavens, testaments to their ingenuity and ambition, to dream of a future shaped by their own hands, a legacy etched in stone and water. Water was the ink that wrote their history, the mortar that held their cities together, the divine gift that shaped empires, dictating their rise and fall. It was the lifeblood of their world. Further south, the Nile, a ribbon of emerald winding through the golden desert, a serpent of life, swelled and receded with the seasons, its rhythm dictating the very pulse of existence. Leaving behind black, fertile silt, the lifeblood of their agriculture, a promise of bountiful harvests. The Egyptians built pyramids that defied time, but their civilization was founded on the river's rhythm, its ebb and flow shaping their destiny. Pharaohs were stewards of water, guardians of its flow, responsible for its equitable distribution. The river was their god, a source of both life and mystery, revered in elaborate rituals and ceremonies. Its pulse was the heartbeat of a kingdom, its vitality reflected in the health and prosperity of its people. That endured for millennia, a testament to the power of water and the wisdom of those who respected it. The Jordan, humbler but no less sacred, a slender thread of life in a harsh landscape, carved a valley that became holy ground for three faiths, a place of pilgrimage and spiritual renewal. It nourished Jericho, one of the world's oldest cities, a testament to the enduring power of water to sustain life. Prophets walked its banks, drawing inspiration from its gentle flow, their words echoing through the ages. These rivers, the Nile, Tigris, Euphrates, Jordan, were the architects of our history, the sculptors of our civilizations, the very essence of our being. They were the source code for civilization, the blueprint for a world sustained by the delicate balance of nature. But the whispers have changed, the songs of life have faded, replaced by a mournful lament. Songs of abundance are now cries of warning, desperate pleas for a resource dwindling before our eyes. The great rivers are shrinking, their lifeblood draining away, leaving behind a legacy of regret. Their flows choke to a trickle, a mere shadow of their former glory, a haunting reminder of what we have lost. The Gardens of Eden are turning to desert, the fertile lands transformed into barren wastelands, a consequence of our neglect. The soil poisoned by salt, a bitter harvest of our unsustainable practices, a testament to our short-sightedness. The cradle of civilization is cracking from thirst, its foundations crumbling under the weight of our indifference. The divine gift has been squandered, abused, and polluted, a betrayal of the trust placed upon us. We stand on a precipice, teetering on the edge of ecological disaster, facing the consequences of our actions. Looking back at lush history, at the abundance that once defined this land, a stark contrast to the present reality, staring into a future of dust, a bleak and desolate landscape, a testament to our failure to protect the source of life. The echoes are fading, the voices of the past growing fainter, lost in the silence of a dying world. And we are left with the silence of a dying land, a haunting reminder of the price of our neglect, a silence that screams for change. The sun is a hammer, relentlessly beating down on cracked earth. It bakes the land, turning fertile ground into dust. The heat shimmers, distorting the horizon, offering no respite from its oppressive glare. And a line of people stretches into the distance, a testament to resilience and desperation. They stand patiently or perhaps impatiently under the unforgiving sun, their faces etched with worry and hope. Men, women, children, a cross-section of humanity united by a single desperate need. Each face tells a story of hardship, of fields left behind, of homes abandoned in search of survival, waiting not for bread or freedom, not for riches or glory, but for water. The most basic of necessities, the essence of life itself, has become a precious commodity, a source of anxiety and strife. A single truck arrives, kicking up dust as it rumbles into view, a lifeline in a world where wells have run dry and streams are scars. It's a symbol of hope, but also a stark reminder of the fragility of their existence. This is not fiction, not a dystopian fantasy, it's daily reality for millions around the globe, A crisis unfolding in real time, often unseen and unheard by the wider world. Villages abandoned, their mud brick houses slowly crumbling back into the earth. Streams vanished, leaving behind only dry riverbeds. People flee, joining a new migration, a desperate search for sustenance. A modern exodus driven not by war or persecution, but by thirst. A silent emergency forcing families from their ancestral lands, their lives uprooted by the relentless advance of drought. Tension hangs heavy in the air, thick as the dust. A murmur ripples through the crowd as the taps are tentatively opened, a collective breath held in anticipation. People push forward, a surge of bodies driven by primal need. Tempers flare, patience wearing thin under the scorching sun. The struggle for survival becomes a desperate scramble. A jerry can spills, its precious contents lost to the dust in a cruel twist of fate. A collective groan rises from the crowd, a shared sense of despair. This is the new front line, not borders or ideology, but survival. Every drop is fought for, a raw, primal struggle for the most essential element of life. It's a battle against nature, against circumstance, and against each other. Look into their eyes, you see loss. Homes abandoned, fields gone, communities shattered. The weight of their displacement is etched into every line and wrinkle. Displacement is not just movement, it's being unmoored from history and identity, severed from the roots that once nourished them. It's a loss of belonging, a journey into uncertainty. When water disappears, the roots of society wither, leaving behind a barren landscape of despair. People become refugees in their own countries, desperately searching for a place where wells haven't failed, where life can still be sustained. This is the human cost of a slow-motion disaster, a tragedy unfolding gradually, measured one empty well at a time, one parched field at a time, one broken heart at a time. The scene repeats across Yemen, a nation ravaged by conflict and drought, where water scarcity exacerbates existing tensions and pushes communities to the brink. Jordan, a kingdom grappling with a massive influx of refugees, its already scarce water resources stretched to their breaking point. Iraq, where ancient rivers once flowed freely, now reduced to trickles, leaving behind cracked earth and shattered livelihoods. Syria, across crowded camps overflowing with displaced families and parched plains where agriculture has become a distant memory. Thirst reshapes demographics, redraws maps, forcing people to abandon their homes and seek refuge elsewhere. It's a silent war, waged with empty buckets and failing pumps, a battle for survival in a world increasingly defined by scarcity. Millions are pushed to the brink, their lives hanging in the balance, a generation of water refugees, their futures uncertain, their hopes dwindling. Their journey is a testament to our collective failure, a failure to protect our planet's precious resources, a failure to address the root causes of climate change, and a chilling preview of a future defined by scarcity, conflict, and displacement. Beneath the seemingly barren desert landscape lies a hidden ocean, a vast reservoir of groundwater patiently accumulated over millennia. This unseen resource has been a lifeline for communities in arid regions, a source of sustenance and prosperity, quietly shaping civilizations. Groundwater for centuries was the region's silent savior, carefully managed and deeply respected. Ancient water systems like qanats and traditional wells tapped into these reserves with remarkable ingenuity, ensuring a sustainable supply for generations. Oases flourished, providing fertile havens amidst the harsh desert environment. But as rainfall became increasingly erratic and unpredictable, nations turned to more aggressive methods, drilling deeper and deeper, borrowing water from the future with little regard for the long-term consequences. The allure of readily available water proved too strong to resist, setting in motion a dangerous cycle of depletion. Now, the bill is due. The consequences of our unsustainable practices are becoming painfully clear. Satellite data, our watchful eye in the sky, reveals aquifers draining at alarming rates. Vast underground reservoirs are shrinking at an unprecedented pace, painting a grim picture of water scarcity. The relentless extraction of groundwater is causing the ground itself to sink, a phenomenon known as land subsidence. Cities collapse, their foundations weakened by the shifting earth. They are falling into voids left by our thirst, a stark reminder of the price of unchecked consumption. This is not sustainable, it's the rapid liquidation of a non-renewable asset, a reckless gamble with the future of entire regions. Wells chase a falling water table, desperately trying to reach the dwindling supply, but soon, there will be nowhere left to drill, no deeper to go. As fresh water is pumped out, salt water seeps in, poisoning what remains, rendering precious water sources unusable. Farmers find their soil crusted with salt, the land becoming barren and unproductive, their livelihoods destroyed, their ancestral lands rendered worthless. They must abandon their lands or watch them die, forced to become environmental refugees. The hidden ocean, once a source of life, has become a source of poison, a symbol of our unsustainable choices. The consequences ripple outward, fueling instability, exacerbating existing tensions, and creating new conflicts. Shared aquifers cross borders. The race to the bottom begins as nations compete for a rapidly diminishing resource. Each country pumps faster, driven by fear and desperation. Each country fearing its neighbor will take the last drop, triggering a cascade of unsustainable practices. There are few agreements, just a silent underground water war, fought with pumps and pipelines, with devastating consequences for all. The wells are running dry, turning neighbors and nations into rivals, locked in a desperate struggle for survival in a parched world. The great rivers are dying. The Tigris and Euphrates, once lifelines, are now shadows. Dams upstream in Turkey control the flow, holding water captive behind concrete. Downstream Syria and Iraq suffer. Marshes shrink, cultures vanish, water is weaponized, treaties are weak, cooperation fragile. Rivers become pawns in a game of power, their flow dictated by politics. The Nile's story echoes this. Ethiopia's dam is pride for some, an existential threat for others. Negotiations teeter on the brink of conflict. The fate of millions hangs in the balance, dependent on water diplomacy. The rivers that once united now divide. Water, once a source of prosperity, is now a source of deep-seated animosity. The stakes could not be higher. Syria, once a breadbasket, was devastated by drought from 2006 to 2010. Rains failed, rivers dropped, wells ran dry. Over 75% of farms failed. Herders lost most of their livestock. The rural economy collapsed, leaving abandoned farms and shattered lives. Over 1 million people migrated to city fringes, crowding into slums. Displacement bred discontent. The government offered little support. The social fabric tore apart. Analysts now see this climate disaster as a key catalyst for Syria's civil war. Water scarcity and agricultural collapse destabilized a nation. It's a stark warning. When land can't sustain its people, chaos follows. The water crisis is amplified by climate change and political mistrust. The Middle East is warming twice as fast as the global average. Rainfall is erratic, droughts more severe, rivers shrinking. Climate change multiplies threats, pushing the region to the brink. But political mistrust is just as toxic. Every dam, every well is seen as a weapon. Cooperation is rare, negotiations are zero-sum games. As water dwindles, competition intensifies. The cycle of environmental decline and political antagonism feeds itself. Breaking it will require trust, innovation, and a new approach to water. Meet Fatima, a Jordanian farmer tracing cracks in her dry olive grove. Her well is salty, the water that once nourished now kills. When the water dies, a part of us dies, she says. In Yemen, Ahmed, an engineer, builds makeshift rainwater systems for his community. It's not a solution, but an act of hope and survival. In a Syrian refugee camp, Layla teaches children about rivers they've never seen. She plants seeds of a new water ethic, hoping they'll protect what was lost. These are not statistics, they are stories of resilience and loss. Fatima, Ahmed, Layla, millions share their struggle. Their courage shows a path forward. Community, innovation, hope. Their voices remind us what's at stake. The true cost of inaction is measured in human lives, but so is the power of resilience. We stand at a fork in the river. One path leads to scarcity, conflict, and famine, a future we must reject. The other path is harder but leads to sustainability and cooperation. Technology offers hope. Israel now gets most of its water from desalination. This isn't a silver bullet, but it's a powerful tool. We need a revolution in diplomacy, binding, equitable water-sharing treaties. Water must be seen as a shared heritage, not a resource to hoard. A new water ethic is essential: conservation, innovation, stewardship, fixing leaks, adopting water-wise agriculture, and educating the next generation. The shift from extraction to stewardship is our greatest challenge. The choice is ours. The choice is ours. The future is unwritten, but the clock is ticking. The warnings are clear. In cracked earth, shrinking rivers, desperate eyes. This is not just their problem, it's everyone's. Our world is interconnected. A drought here affects food and security everywhere. Responsibility is shared. We need global investment, diplomacy, and action. Change begins with awareness and conversation. Demand leaders prioritize water, invest in solutions, and support innovators. The story doesn't have to end in dust. It can be one of resilience, renewal, and hope. The time to act is now.